right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Right here, 58 Beetle. It's been on the channel a couple times before. If you've been following, say, this car, if you've seen this car on the channel, we've done the electrical on it. It's been through a restoration. We didn't do the restoration here, but we jumped in, sort of, for button-up stuff. Anywho, did the electrical, got all that working, did some engine work to it, fixed that door, I think, and put a 2-inch narrow drop adjustable beam on with disc brakes. Sure, we've done other things, but that's the only thing I can remember now. Reason it's here right now is we got to fix the, I mean, you probably saw it in the description, the hood latch. Well, that let loose on the owner. He supplied a new one. I got to just cobble that all together. And that's one thing that's been fighting him since he's had the car back. And hell, I think it even fought me to the point where I got it stuck. But digressing, regressing, got to do a hood latch and fix a noise in the back, which is, oh, we did brakes on this thing too, wheel cylinders. I don't remember. But anyway, he put new wheels on, put studs in, I think he said, and now it sounds like one of the studs, or what this way he's describing it, sounds like one of the studs is hitting one of the, little spring retainer clips. That everything I just mentioned is hopefully going to be semi-easy. The main reason it's here is the car apparently stopped charging. I went back there, full disclosure, went back there, jiggled some wires, and, well, it charges now. The main charge back wire out of the voltage regulator, because someone put the voltage regulator on the engine. Yeah, that was just loose, so it charges. So I called him, full discretion, called him up. I was like, hey, your car charges. Do you really want me to swap it out to an alternator? Or do you just want me to leave it and go on the original diagnosis of wait till it blows up? Because if you have watched this car, driving it is, it's loud. The bearings in that alternator are just, they're gone, but it still works. So, I don't know, run until it blows up is basically my thing. Save you money. I mean, it's going to leave you stranded one way or the other, or not. I mean, that's very bad advice. Anywho's, called him up, told him I got it to charge. He said, it's there, we'll swap it out, do an alternator. So, cost is about the same as far as if I did put a generator on, or if I put an alternator conversion on. It works out about the same. So it's really nothing. By me doing nothing, actually would have saved the money. But keeping a generator or swapping it to alternator, it wouldn't matter. So, like I said, just under the full discretion, I call everybody. I don't just randomly do stuff, I guess is what he's saying. Because honestly, I don't want to. I will, but if I don't have to, I don't want to. Yeah, that's about it. So, with that said, let's tear into the back of this car, start on the alternator, and then, work stem to stern. Boat terms. Join me in the back after I get this racked up. Let's start gripping and ripping on this thing. Move you to the other side. Maybe you can see more instead of my stick of, justice. And I just get to walk past you all the freaking time. So that's going to be good. Sorry if I trip. Light's already in the way. Doink. Doink. All right. A little better lighting. Anywho, now everything's just annoying and in the face, which is good. That's exactly what you want. You want the least visibility as possible. I'm gonna start it by. Actually, let me clean off my work table and not use the floor as a shelf. As you can see, it's getting a little overloaded. As for that, which is for that. Be back. All right, now that I grabbed the table, I still didn't pick up stuff from the floor. So this is going well. What are we using? Are we 13s? Yes. I need an 8. Impact. Eight, a 13, an extension. Probably need my other extension. A wrench. Grab 2 of them because I'm going to lose one. Swivelly do and a 10. All right, I think I got enough crap. At least I think I do. Pliers. Always need pliers. There you go. Pliers are for the throttle cable. Because we do have to remove, the carburetor. And we'll pull this so I don't lose it. Or so I do lose it. I don't know. Solenoid. Wow. That wasn't it. Solenoid. That is also loose. Can't remember if that's going to be my fault or not. Not that it matters, it worked. What are you looking at? All right. Just undoing the electrical for the carb. I'll tell you immediately if it was me or not. Probably not. Nope, wasn't me. I typically cut these things off. Again, is it right? No. Do I care? Also no. Yell at me in the comments. I have not had an issue with cutting those off. All right, distributor. Move the cap. We'll get rid of this vacuum line. And we can pull the carb. Get rid of the oil bath. We'll set this to the side so I don't break it. Even though I have a couple, still need a screwdriver. Fuel line. Get the fuel line out of the way. Boop. Carburetor. I thought my fat fingers were able to get it. They cannot. Don't you hate when a bolt's just like on the cusp of being finger loosenable, but it's not, and it's also an awkward position? That's what this is. Also don't know where my small 13 is, nor do I know where the hell that's been for the last however long. All right, carburetor. I'm just gonna set this over there because that seems like a good place for it. Also fan. Air movement. Betters. All right. trying to figure out the wiring mess. As for the carb, I could have left it on the carb, but I didn't. What do we got here? Oil pressure and ignition. I want to get these two out of the way. Oh, wow. It's like, why is this wire green? The sheath was covering that gem of a splice. Yep. I was wondering why we had a green ignition wire. I thought the ignition or the points or, yeah, the carb was hooked up to the wrong side of the coil. It wasn't. Just that. So let's make a mental note of this. All right, charge back wire. And that was the wire that was loose. The one that goes, feeds back. And the other wire. Just get those guys out of the way. And all this stuff is, well, going to go away. We don't need it. Probably a 10. Yep, that was my 10. I remember because it was only held on by one bolt. Now, because this voltage regulator actually works, I'm going to hold on to it. Because, well, if you buy voltage regulators nowadays, it's a crapshoot if you get a working one. Typically what I buy is I just buy the Bosch solid states. Just because they tend to always work. At least in my opinion, they tend to always work. That's garbage, but we'll just throw it there. Do I not have another? I do. I don't. Why do I have so many of the ones? And oh, there it is. So where's my impact? Sometimes this thing is useful. Buzz off the generator nut. Yoink. Shims. And hopefully this stupid thing cooperates coming off. It's going to come off. It's just a matter of if it's going to cooperate or not. Might need some heat. Definitely going to need some heat. And I don't care due to the fact that, like I said, we are swapping this out. How is this belt stuck? Get out of it. Get out of there. All right, belt. Yeah. I don't know how well it picks up on my mic, but you can probably hear those bearings. Hold, please. Oh, microphone. It doesn't sound too terrible. And honestly, from it being ran, it might have gotten better. Pretty sure I've done this. Hopefully you heard it that time. Little fire, and we'll get that thing off, hopefully. I'm just hoping a little bit of heat and some prying to wiggle this thing out. I don't want to bend it. If not, I'll dig out some 3-draw pliers and pull it. It's always a mild crapshoot on getting these things off. Sometimes they just slide. Sometimes they don't do any of that. But just put a little heat on the nose part. You don't need to go, crazy or nuts. What you're trying to do is just get some heat in there to break the stiction and pop it off. Also, side note, I'm almost out of gas. Side note of a side note, I don't recommend using heat. Let me say that again. I don't recommend using heat or a lot of heat if you're planning on reusing your generator. Not saying it's going to screw it up, but you don't want to screw it up. Oh, you're trying to move. The big thing is you don't want, oh yeah, you could really hear it. You don't want to bend a pulley. Hoping the lube can get in there and break down some of that rust. A lot of times what happens is it gets stuck on that thing, the key shaft. I don't know if you can tell how much that nose is. You probably can't. It's coming off. Here, hold on. You might be able to see how much nose wiggle this thing has in it just by prying along. There's a lot of deflection in that. Let me do one more heat cycle and get it off. Maybe not. Maybe it just needs a little bit more lube. And bigger pry bar. Actual screwdriver. All right, I'll do more heat, but progress is being made. Oh, one other thing. Do it so your key shaft, when you're pulling these things, you know, the keyway, your little key shaft guy, if you're doing this, make sure it's pointing up. This way, if you are, to say, hypothetically going to be reusing this, you're not looking for that. Woodruff key. All right, once you get it to about where it's ready to fall off, Gonna do final wiggles, hopefully with a pair of pliers so that I don't eject this thing. It is quite warm. Come on. Like, warm. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right, it's out. One pulley. Just put that with the other half. All right, oil thing. You got a weird nut in here. I'm hoping it cooperates because sometimes they just don't. And I think this one does. Oh, jeez, that's warm. I forgot to disconnect the battery. Also, your battery's about to die. Let's, for safety, masking tape. Whoops. You know, mistakes were made. Wasn't bad, it was just a quick hit. But I think, where did my ratchet go? I think that did break loose. Yep. You can take those off now or later, it doesn't matter really. Typically, if you break them loose, you can usually get the rest of it out with some needle nose pliers if you got some that's spread wide enough. Wood paddle bit works. I mean, you don't need the whatever $4 tool or however much they cost. But it does help. That tool is just sometimes a pain in the butt to keep in the two little grooves that they have. All right, battery change and implement change. We're just going to use some gardening shears because they are spring loaded. And everyone knows spring loaded is better. There you go. Pop that off. Boink. Put that over there. Slowly stripping everything down. We got our 13 and our 13 generator. My other 13, a fancy one. Loosen that strap. Boink. Generator's free. I was going to say something, well, dumber than normal. Like, Self, why is this generator super hot? Well, Self, you're an idiot and you just torched it. All right, what are... Oh, that's convenient. That side bolt's loose. What about this one? And that one's loose. Nice. Got lucky. I can tell you they're round, so they're cheese heads. The side screws, we're going to replace them with the with bolts, nuts, whatever. IC screws. Does this thing have a thermostat? No. Make sure this engine didn't have a thermostat in it. That would be like, you know, holding anything up. Throw shaft, pull that out. What else? What else are you stuck on? It's a non-doghouse engine, so it really shouldn't be stuck on anything. I don't think the top tins are slotted. Usually the sides would hold the fan shroud in, or slots. Yeah, cheese head screws. Are slotted. I don't think these are. Nope. Now it should be able to lift. Yes. Perfect. Now I got quasi 2 options. One. Oh, I only got one option because I'm not pulling the, I'm not taking this off. At least the plan is I'm not taking that off. We know how the plans on my channel go. Ridiculously long extension. Get these guys out. Again, I like to replace all the hardware. You don't have to. There's nothing that says you need to. These 2 plug wires are going to be in the way. Come on. Just give me one, and then the other will follow. I lied. All right, there's the other one. I got one more down in there, which I don't think I can get my socket on with the angles and dangles. Maybe. Maybe, I say. Nope. Hand ratchet that one off. Because the guy just does not feel like fighting with it. Alright, battery change. And implement change. We're just going to use some gardening shears. Because they are spring loaded. And everyone knows spring loaded is better. There we go. Pop that off. Boink. Put that over there. Slowly stripping everything down. We got our 13 and our 13 generator. My other 13, a fancy one. Loosen that strap. Boink. Generator's free. I was going to say something, well, dumber than normal. Like, Self, why is this generator super hot? Well, Self, you're an idiot and you just torched it. All right, what are... Oh, that's convenient. That side bolt's loose. What about this one? And that one's loose. Nice. Got lucky. I can tell you they're round, so they're cheese heads. The side screws, we're going to replace them with the with bolts, nuts, whatever. IC screws. Does this thing have a thermostat? No. Make sure this engine didn't have a thermostat in it, that it would be like, you know, holding anything up. Throttle shaft, pull that out. What else are you stuck on? It's a non-doghouse engine, so it really shouldn't be stuck on anything. I don't think the top tins are slotted. Usually the sides would hold the fan shroud in, or slots. Yeah, cheese head screws. Are slotted. I don't think these are. Nope. Now it should be able to lift. Yes. Perfect. Now I got quasi 2 options. One. Oh, I only got one option because I'm not pulling the, I'm not taking this off. At least the plan is I'm not taking that off. Well, you know how the plans on my channel go. Ridiculously long extension. Get these guys out. Again, I like to replace all the hardware. You don't have to. There's nothing that says you need to. These 2 plug wires are going to be in the way. Come on. Just give me one, and then the other will follow. I lied. All right, there's the other one. I got one more down in there, which I don't think I can get my socket on with the angles and dangles. Maybe. Maybe, I say. Nope. Hand ratchet that one off. Because the guy just does not feel like fighting with it. There we go. We'll just drop it and find it later. All right, now hopefully I'm going to have at least enough wiggle room to get this thing out. What that's going to entail is I have to drop my prop. The reason I'm doing that is your spring gets away from the top of your shroud, so you get a little more up movement. I mean, that's the best way I can put it because that's what I just did it for. All right, this. out. Put our prop rod back up. Reason for this is I'm only one guy, and holds up a little bit of up on that side. All right, fan out. Oil cooler looks good. Everything looks good. Huh. All right. Now, I'm gonna start tearing this thing apart. Get the nut off. But yeah, how does this sound? Just get out of there. You probably hear it. Turn off the fan. You definitely hear that. So, I say she's a little cooked. Alrighty, now let me start tearing this thing apart. New generator, oh, no, scratch that. Before we get to that, probably gonna end up doing that in the morning because I like to paint things. Generator, alternator, we gotta swap the stand. Honestly, that already looks like an alternator stand. Yeah, sure is. Already has an alternator stand on it. So running generator. One thing. I should have noticed that to begin with, but I wasn't paying attention. Alternator stands. I don't know if I even have one. Or an actual generator stand. I usually just throw them out. Let me wander around and see if I can find one. Usually generator stands, this is flush. Alternator stands have this kickback, step back, so that you can clear your alternator. Let me do some digging, see if I have one. If not, I know the white Gia has a generator on it. Everything else I have is alternator. But yeah, that's an alternator bracket, I'm pretty sure. Let me see if I can find an actual generator bracket. Be right back. If not, just Google it. Yeah, definitely an alternator stand. Couldn't find a generator. I might pull out the Gia and show you, but take my word for it. This is an alternator stand. It's not a generator stand. I'd step back. Well, I'll just show you because I have an extra one now. What that step back is for is to allow this front half to sit in there. Generators are just straight, so they just make them straight. But seeing how I don't have to do anything with that, we can just swap stuff on this. This will be fairly straightforward now, hopefully. Not really, it's gonna go off the rails. Ugh. Like parking my jack on my air hose. And there goes my vacuum. This is going great already. Stop, just come here, no, stay. All right, knock this off. Bolt washer, pull the fan, pull the fan, pull the fan, not pulling the fan. Again, you don't want to pry. You don't really want to pry because you don't want to, warp the crap out of the fan. Because then you get all that nice chatter, that noise. A little bit of heat, pops it right off. Fan looks good. Nothing like in it or, you know, weird. I'm running out of space. Fan, go down there. This guy, what do we got? 2 shims on this one? Of course it's hot. Why wouldn't it be? I just heated it. I'm an idiot. You know, this table was clean when I started. Hopefully I can just work. Nope. See if I have my small puller. Shims, go there. That washer, go there. All right, well, we're making that thing smaller and smaller. I don't know if I'll be able to grab onto this. I definitely don't have the hand coordination for this. All right, new plan. Oh, we'll just use heat again. Like a sophisticated moron. Put a little lube in there. I'll heat this up. That's warm too now, because of course it is. Slide hammer. And I might have to find my Milwaukee's because they have a hook on them. All right, reheated that, found the Milwaukee's. Flip them on. And then hopefully we can knock it out with the slide hammer. These just grab this better as I slip off. You are not wanting to move. I mean, maybe a little. I might actually have to go and get a might actually have to go get a puller in the morning. It's just not moving. All right, I'm gonna throw this on my my vise and, well, be not so nice to it because it's moving way too much. I'll be right back. All right, it's not the next day. I actually got this damn thing off. With that said, woodruff keys are out of this thing. I just want to make sure that it's going to go on. See? Nice and free. Now you can't see. Slides on, slides off. Nice and free. Yeah. When they start to stick, yeah, you got a little bit of problems. I don't ever plan on getting into anything ever again, if you watch this channel long enough. But a lot of anti-seize goes a long way. By a little, I mean excessive amount. Strap's already on this thing. I'm going to drop the keys in. Oh, sorry, scratch that. Let me put the backing plate on. Now we'll put the backing plate on next. Now we'll put it on now. It doesn't matter. When you put the backing plate on, it does slide over. Well, as long as you don't put, the fan on. Then you really screw it up. Put the... hell. Align the sun, the moon, the asparagus, all that good stuff. Put that on. Nuts, nut. All right, that's on. Scooch that back. Woodruff key. You finicky little fella. Get in there. There we go. Slide that in. This guy, probably going to need a screwdriver to set this. What I typically do is I get it started, get that key aligned, and then hold down the back of the key because I have a tendency to walk forward until you get past the halfway point. There we go. Only use approved hammers and installation tools. That's down. Next, washer. It looks a little chattery. We'll just put a little goo on it. Maybe prevent sticking in the future. Again, not needed, but doesn't hurt. Washer, that big one. The two other ones, fan, wherever the hell that went. There it is. Put that fan on. Big old spring washer. And the big nut. And use your installation tool. On. We're bound up. Why are we so bound up? Free. Something's getting dumb tight. And that spins, so there's no reason that this shouldn't, well, spin when it goes together. Just doesn't make sense. Whoa. Re-index that. Still spins. Still spins. Walks up. What the hell is hitting? The fan physically is not touching anything. How is this happening? Yeah, right there it spins. This is a first for me. Only thing it can be is this is pushing too much on that shim that's in there, and it's locking everything up. But it shouldn't be able to, well, do what it's currently doing. Yeah, this is getting drawn too far in. Which is, well, not ideal. But there is a lot of lateral run out in this. And usually there's not. Also, the front of that generator looks suspicious. Alternator. That thing's junk. I don't know if you can see, but there's so much play forward and backwards. You can probably hear it. Let me turn the fan off again. None. This bushing sticks out. That bushing also sticks out. That bushing does stick out. The bushing that's in here is flush. Or it's, I think it's completely missing. Oh, I'll put you on the floor. Nope, never mind. Found the bushing that was supposed to be on the nose. Is this the reason you're being stupid? Because the bushing fell out? Well, that stopped it from moving. All right. Might not be all lost. There's not a forward back went away. I feel a little more confident in it. There's still goo in this. Let's put it back together one more time. I'm going to do something I shouldn't, and I'm going to put this front pulley on, or shouldn't have to. I'm going to see if this, because if this torques down fine, we're good. All right, that still spins. That's going to put preload. I don't have the cotter key in that yet. Oh, it's like, now why is it making noise? All right, let's try this again. Shim, we'll just use 2 spacers like we were supposed to. fan. Spring washer. Nut. Impact. Man, it's better, but it's still tight. I don't have a fan on that one. I don't have a fan on any of them, do I? There's still a fan on this junk one, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah, I don't like it. Something's wrong. It's just not machined right. And the last thing I want to do is put this thing together and have to take it back apart. I would have been mildly okay as if this actually, like, I don't know, held it. Yeah, if I put that on and it spun nice and freely, I would have been fine. I would have felt better running it, but like I said, I don't feel like doing this twice. It is not that important to, yeah, now it's basically locked up. All right, looks like I'm going to the O'Reilly's tomorrow. Strip this thing down again, go to the O'Reilly's and, well, get a new one. Because I don't have another one. Shit. This is the only good thing about having this. Well, using an O'Reilly's brand one is if this was a, you know, another manufacturer, like if it got shipped in, I'd be SOL. Because I'd have to most likely get an O'Reilly's one anyway, just to get a car out the door. Yeah. We'll go and grab another one tomorrow and wrap this up. So it's easy things.
They come both ways.
I know, it's 2025. Anywho's, new shot. I got, yeah, other progress behind me. Anywho, new generator, it's tight. It's actually quiet, or new alternator. So we can move on with installation. I might just throw this in just because I know this part is going excessively long. And, well, installation is same as uninstallation. Install, same as uninstall. Just go backwards of whatever the hell you're doing. What? Oh, yeah, just quick thing. We have a water-cooled vehicle in the shop that's not mine, and then, yeah. How's life going, America's child? Replacing the center shaft support.
Engineering at its finest.
Yeah, he's replacing the center shaft to support, and it is going as well as one could expect if you watch this channel. Nothing but developments. Yeah. I was going to record this, but I know us working together, and I like to, the few meager bucks I get off YouTube, I like to keep them. Yep. If I had an R-rated channel, it'd be good. Or sponsors. Someone sponsor me so I could work normally. Anywho, some ways.
Come here with your.
Hold, please. I'm entertaining people, sort of. This is all set up. Just got to throw it back into the car, and well, like I said, I might throw it, depending on timing or what we're doing. I might show you put it in, but set up same as I was struggling with last night. But it is at least free. Everything's tight. Yeah, that shaft, like I showed, was just moving. So once you tighten one end, I guess that armature or whatever you want to call the doobly-doo that's in there, mismachined, so it just lock it up. So with that said, join me for my next ramble and something else. I might put it in with you guys, I'm not sure. And I'm back. It's the next day after the whole alternator, getting the correct alternator debacle, and helping my friend out with his Cadillac. You might be asking, well, I thought you said you were going to put this in off camera. Well, I was, except Cadillac turned into developments. It went well. So we are now just going to slam this back together. Plus, I didn't want to get ahead of myself with you guys. So far, so quiet. These two wires are for coil and oil. That's right. I'm gonna fix this whole mess. Basically, that solder together connector, or that just twisted wire together connector. Let me fix that. And we got to lengthen our charge wire and our blue wire. Let me do some soldering, lengthening, and yeah. Because we have to replace the voltage regulator. So these two wires, depending where your regulator is, your skinny green and your fat red will be attached to, on what would be the other side of your voltage regulator, your fat red and your other skinny wire. So you just solder them together and you put it on. Or however you have it. Watch my wiring of that fire damaged Beetle. I put an entire harness in and showed how to put in a voltage regulator or bypass one. Let me do a bunch of soldering, get this all connected and make it look pretty. And I'll be right back. Because it's not. But you know what? Let's turn the carburetor on, all that stuff. While I'm here anyway. Maybe some 12s. Carb is on and tight. Throttle cable. Put that little thingy back in. All right, guys, let me clean up this wiring, get it attached. On this car, the black and red striped wire is going to go to the big lug, and the little tiny baby wire is going to go to the small lug. Tiny baby wire is going to work the gauge light. Big striped wire goes to the battery. It's going to charge it. These two, oil pressure is fine. ish. But this funky green twist together connection, yeah, we're gonna fix that. I might actually run 2 new ones just to make it look better. But yeah, all right, let me do some electrical cleanup and I will be back. How's the oil? Perfect. Oh. Yeah, let me do some electrical real quick. I'll be back. Like I said, I'm just gonna extend some wires and make this thing look prettier and functional, I guess. Also, I gotta find the wires. Wires I want to use. I'll show you the aftermath. All right, guys. I think I just lost my footage that I was just yakking about because my battery fell out. So let me try this again and walk you through what car's wired. Well, I thought I screwed up. I don't know if you can tell, but I burnt the crap out of these terminals. And well, that connector. Hooked it up, thought I had an internal fault in my alternator. Short to ground, so on and so forth. So I did the right thing to isolate that. I took a battery, direct negative to case, and touched the positive terminal to the positive post. No sparks. So then I said to myself, how could this happen? Looked inside the car. And I know the owner pulled this battery out and he had it like tested or charged. Unfortunately, that red wire, it's on the positive terminal. And that black wire is on the negative terminal. That black wire, I don't know if you can see, goes through the chassis. It's going to the starter. He inadvertently wired this negative to earth, or positive to earth, excuse me. So, yeah, that's not right. So what I'm gonna do is do the right thing, swap terminals around. We'll rotate the battery 180 because red doesn't mean power. Red doesn't. You have to, I guess you have to look where your terminals go. GM's notorious for this as far as if you pick up like an old Chevy or something like that and you got like 2 red wires, you got to see which one goes to the ground. Like I said, unfortunately for him, he had a 50-50 shot and, well, got it backwards. Also, he tightened his terminals. But yeah, a car will run positive to earth. It doesn't really actually care. I'm surprised the starter spun this the correct way. Because the last time I did it, I had the engine spinning backwards. Oh, I gotta put you down. All right, did the right thing. Turned the battery 180. So now the red wire is negative. Black wire is positive. I have to loosen this clamp. Let me loosen the clamp, but yeah. Now it'd be right. I'll just set the terminals on, make sure that alternator doesn't explode or, short. Yeah, because I like I said, I've ran across this before. Because the only other, at first, well, not going to say the only other option. The other thing I was thinking is maybe I screwed up the wiring, but if I screwed up the wiring, see now I did it hot, did this thing live, would be, I would have melted the wires if I got a ground into, like if I ended up grounding the wiring I connected. So, yeah, let me fix this, get it correct, and finish installing it. But yeah, the wiring, at least that part's done. Yeah, and the like I said, generator doesn't care. Alternator cares. So let me sort this out real quick. Make sure I don't burn the car down. I just got a ignition wire. I got to connect that, and then I ended up running all new out of this. All the old wires were just junk. A lot of them were heat cracked. I mean, that one green wire that was spliced, it was actually broke there as well, so I cut it back as far as possible. But yeah, let me fix this debacle. It's always the developments and the unforeseen things that bite you every time. So happy I noticed that, because, well, if I just committed to it, I could have burnt the car down. And I don't think that'd be, I don't think that'd be too well received. So I'll be right back. Actually, before I fix the battery, call me Backtracking Sally over here, because I screwed up. I'm happy I noticed this. But, ow. I need to put a spacer block on. When you do an alternator conversion on mainly single ports, this accelerator pump arm back here, I don't know if you can tell, hits the generator, or the alternator now. So you just put a spacer plate, jack it up. Not a big deal. But so let me just backtrack, re-put the carb on where the carb needs to go. And I will get back to you after I do this. Like I said, wasn't in the right frame of mind. But this is pretty simple. It just unbolted, install that, it raises it 1 inch. And then you have clearance. All right, all we're gonna do, pull this guy up. This kit comes with 2 studs. Put these studs on, just hand tighten them. Spacer block. Oop, gasket. Spacer block. Now it sets the carburetor up and it's able to clear. All right, guys, battery's flipped around. So technically, not even technically, it should not explode now. Hey, would you look at that? One, the bad thing about, well, the good thing is, generator didn't care. Also, the way this car is wired, it doesn't have any electronics in it that cared. Still running points. If we had an electronic ignition, we might have an issue. But because it's still a dumb system, he dodged the bullet. But yeah, let me just keep doing this, get the belt on, and then fire this thing up. Also, if this fuel pump ever takes a crap, because it's still a generator style, might just have to loosen the clamp and pull this up just to get clearance out. It's not a big deal. The pump's working, wasn't going to change it out. You might be able to just jiggle it up. Anyway, if that pump goes out, I'll be most likely I will be doing the work. So I already know what I'm in for. I think I did the same stupid thing on my car. This car is at least a lot easier, just due to the fact that it's a non-doghouse engine. All right, guys, on the GoPro, let me wipe off this lens. Just because I'm ready to take this thing out for a drive, and I don't feel like, well, constantly swapping these cameras. So on a GoPro, everything is buttoned up right now. Belts on, everything's ran, filters, stuff like that. The electrical, like I said, I reran all this electrical and harness, so on and so forth. Let's do a test fire, and if it fires up, which it should, there's still, well, the gas that was in this carburetor is basically, or what was sitting when it's off, it should hopefully fire up immediately. And we'll take it out on the road. Cool. Generator light is on. Generator light is off. Put that down. Still got to move the banana. One other thing I had to do is I installed a new dongle under here because the hood wasn't latching. Choke's working. The hood wasn't latching, or it latched too good and, well, didn't unlatch. So that's at least taken care of now. But you are out of gear, right? Yep. That doesn't matter. Fires up, runs good, says it's charging. Let me move my banana, mango, what have you, and we'll get this thing on the road. And the only reason I'm even going to do a road test is, if you remember if you guys have been watching this, or, hold on, multiple things going on. Car charges, so my job here is done. But if you've been watching this car on the channel, one of my original complaints of it, it is probably one of the loudest cars I've driven, interior-wise. The generator bearings, well, you heard them, were going out. And my original, diagnostic was, well, it's charging, leave it alone. Because it was charging. So either leave it alone until it stopped charging, kind of what happened here, but not really because it's still charged. Leave it alone until it stopped charging, or whatchamacallit, till you can't live with the noise anymore. Well, I guess I'm taking it out to hopefully verify that the noise I was hearing was that generator this entire time, not like an exhaust leak. It doesn't sound like an exhaust leak, but it's basically verifying that it was the generator this whole time, making that interior so loud. Because if it's not, I have no idea what it was or what it is, because the fan that's on, it's correct. It has all the blades. It's clean. It's not like it has built up schmutz on it, lack of better terms. So not really sure. It sounded like a bunch of air in my original test drive, like getting sucked in, but that doesn't make any sense because, well, it's a factory fan. But let me get you set up in here, move that car out of the way, and yeah, we'll do a quick drive. Like I said, I'm just here. I'm just going to try. We didn't do anything mechanical-wise, so the car is fine, or just as it was the last time I was here. Minus, well, it charges. Well, it charges better now. But, yeah, I just want to verify noise complaints. So just basically quick wrap around the block, make sure that, basically runs through the gears, I guess. So join me in a minute. All right, guys, I can actually talk in here. Yeah, I'm getting on the brakes, but I can hear myself think. Go back to the first video of the in-car. Or for that matter, anytime I've driven this car. And you can hear the noise I'm talking about. It's very mechanical. It's engine RPM dependent. So it's not, so it wasn't like driveline dependent. Because this sounds normal. Yeah, it's a night and day difference. That's really all I need to do is just do a quick lap. But yeah, just cruising with that old generator, it was just loud. And like I said, it was engine RPM / throttle input related versus like speed, if that makes any sense. Didn't care how fast the car was going, because you could say, you know, Volkswagens, they got no power. You can hit the gas. Wow, that was a fail on camera. Maybe I shouldn't be talking to you. Clutch slip's really high, but you could hit the gas, like you'd have a noise here, and it'd get louder, but it wouldn't get louder because you're going faster. It was just getting louder because the RPMs were picking up. But wow, I can't believe I misshift that bad. Needs a clutch. Where are you going? Receiver. Go back. Yeah. Texting and driving's one thing. Now I'm videographying and driving. But anyway, that's what I needed here. Let's try not to screw up another shift. But yeah, I don't know if you can see my feet, but this thing lifts super high. I don't ever remember it actually being this high. I swear the blinkers just work. Oh, hell. I don't think the blinkers work because he put the battery in backwards. I put an electronic relay in this thing. And, well, whatever. Receiver fell again. I put an electronic blinker relay in this, and, well, it's not working. Nothing in this car cared about polarity, except, well, if you had, say, a radio in it, or electronics. Unfortunately, the only electronic thing I put in here was to fix a blinker issue, and, well, it got cooked. I'll open up. I think I might have another one. If not, I'll just tell them to order one and just plug it in. It's almost guaranteed that's what happened. Anyway, we're back. We're on our way back to the shop. I'll take a look at that off camera and I'll report back before I close out this video. But yeah, it's fine. It's so nice to be able to hear yourself think and also speak. Yeah, because I'm in third gear right now. That thing sounds like a normal Volkswagen. Interior wise. Before it sounded like it had an exhaust leak or something like that. Not ideal. But join me on the big cam when I wrap this thing up. Back this thing in. I think it just ran over my airline. All right. Yeah. Idling good. That noise is gone. I'm happy about it. We didn't touch anything hot start wise. So let's see, or engine wise, other than putting a carb spacer on. What's it do? Nice. I mean, I'm happy with it. Yeah, let me, this hood pop again. We drove. I don't know if you heard that, but that was solid poppage. Let me double check that blinker relay. Maybe I have another one. but I'm pretty sure that was, oh, did the brake lights work? That would be, they should. I can't tell. I cannot tell. Turn that off. Because we have security around here. Let's pull up the old security cameras. Shut up, phone. And see if my brake lights work. Because I back in. I don't think we have brake lights. All right, well, now I got to check some stuff. Because, yeah, I didn't see brake lights. I know we have headlights. We have taillights. All right, we have headlights, we have taillights. Something got messed up. Where's my stick? Maybe I just can't see them? Because unless it popped the fuse somehow, nothing should have affected the brake lights. Yeah, no brake lights. All right, give me a minute. Let me do some diagnosing. Hopefully it's stupid and a fuse just popped or came disconnected. They're under the hood. I'll be back. All right, guys. New switch is in. Used my probe, or my DVOM voltmeter. I have continuity with all. If I turn this key on, the brake pedal's being held on, so it's going beep. With any luck, let me turn the key. Stay here. Those lights should come on. Because I had power, I checked everything. What do we got? And brake lights on. Brake lights off. Brake lights on. Brake lights off. They're working. And like I said, I changed out that flasher relay. So we got blinkers again. We got blinkers again. So, all right, let me throw that wheel back on. Throw that wheel back on, and I'll close out this episode. Yeah, it would have been nice. Good thing I didn't drive in the, complete rush hour, because I did not know we didn't have brake lights. Yep, that was the thing. But yeah, I've never had two circuits go dead. Caveat, I only replaced the front. I didn't replace the rear. It's still looped. It might come back around. I don't know, but it at least has one circuit working. Reason I didn't replace the rear is, well, I don't have another random brake light switch. I robbed that out of my master, or my old master. So that was supplied from when I did the front beam. So unfortunately, I'm not going to really charge him too much for it to swap out, because all it was just take it out, put a new one in. You don't have to bleed the system. So I don't know, 30 minutes of diagnosing and swapping out a sensor. So not too terrible. Maybe 30, maybe 45 minutes of probing around. I don't know. Unfair. So, all right, let me get a wheel on, roll this thing back, get on the big cam, and close this one out, because this one's done. Runs, drives, stops, doesn't make noise. You could have a conversation in it. So I'm more than happy. So join me in a minute. All right, guys, closing out the video on the 58. Hopefully it's not going to come back on the channel for a while. Everything is, at this point, I think, fully taken care of. It charges, it's quiet. You don't have that drone of that generator in there. Also happy that that was the correct diagnostic and it wasn't something else. So drone's gone, car runs and drives, stops, the beam's good, the brakes are good. He has brake lights again. Blinkers are working again. Those two things, man. I know the relay, blinker relay, wherever I put it, that got cooked because it went positive to earth, positive to ground, however you want to put it. It got wired British. It's electronic. It does funky things when they're backwards. The brake light switch, I've never had both switches go out. I don't know how, because it's just a switch. I don't know how being wired backwards that would have cooked something, but maybe it did. Not sure. But with that said, car runs, drives, stops, lights work again, brake lights work again, everything's working as it should. Engine runs fine. Readjusted the rear wheels. I know he said he had, and I felt that there's a spacer behind one of the wheel pins, but it's not hitting anything. They're held in with, held in normally, ran in, and then held in with Loctite. It's not clicking, it's not chattering, and they're adjusted now. So I'll tell them to monitor it, but there was no reason for me to pull that drum off because you can see through that hole and nothing was doing anything. Like I said, I couldn't make that noise happen. So it might have just been weird and finally set or caught or something, where it relaxed a bit. But with that said, car's done. Hopefully I don't have to see it in a while. He's doing a 1-for-1 exchange. This is leaving, and that, oh man, which one is it? The red? I think the red Type 3 is coming in. Probably not gonna do a video on that. Probably will, don't know if I want B-roll or not. I think I'm just getting it to replace the throttle cable. He said something sticking or it's going high. If it turns into more than just a throttle cable replacement, I'll bring you in. But this is gone, new one's coming in. He's actually on the way, so like always, I picked the right time to, record outros. But anyway, if you like this episode, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment. If you do, I promise you we will chit chat. As always, thanks for watching, and hopefully see you on the next one.